Welcome to EStory, where we share inspiring tales that ignite your potential. Today's story comes from the esteemed Dr. Myles Munroe and recounts his thrilling experience on Germany's Autobahn. In this real-life adventure, Dr. Munroe explores the profound lessons learned from driving without speed limits, challenging our perceptions of limitations, success, and potential. Join us as we delve into this powerful narrative and uncover 3 key principles that can transform your approach to life.
A few years ago, I was invited to speak at a series of seminars in Germany for a period of 3 months. I lived with a wonderful family who hosted my wife and me. During that time, I was able to experience the rich heritage and culture of Deutschland. Among the many wonderful memories I still carry is a lesson I learned about the principle of maximization. It occurred during my first personal experience with Germany's world-famous Autobahn expressway. The Autobahn is a network of roads without speed restrictions that crisscross Germany and many other neighboring countries. One day, as we were traveling from a city in northern Germany to the south, my host asked if I would like to experience driving without a speed limitation. This felt like a dream come true, so after filling up with petrol, I took the driver's seat and entered the Autobahn. At first, I was excited, thrilled, and anxious as I felt adrenaline rush through my entire body. The feeling of having the responsibility for power without externally imposed limits also brought other mixed emotions, including temporary confusion.
All I had learned from my past concerning speed limits, fear of violation, and restrictions imposed by the law, as I knew it began to wrestle with my newly found freedom. In essence, the possibility of using maximum power was challenged by my learned knowledge of limitation. I was trapped by the conditioning of my past and handicapped by the fear of unlimited possibilities. As the pressure of my foot accelerated the engine, I glanced down at the speedometer and noted that it was registering 80 miles per hour. Being an experienced driver for more than 25 years, I must confess that I had previously driven over 80 miles per hour and had even flirted with 90 miles per hour on occasion. Now, here I was with an open invitation to maximize the ability of the car. As other cars raced past me with the ease of a low-flying jet, I watched as my speed gauge tilted past 80 miles per hour. My host smiled and asked, "What are you afraid of? We're still standing still." Not wanting to feel intimidated by this opportunity, I further depressed the pedal and felt the thrill of a car traveling at 115 miles per hour. Words cannot describe the awesome power and pride I felt controlling the speed and direction of such ability. I was beginning to feel proud of myself as we raced through the mountains and lush green foliage of the Black Forest. I was on top of the world. Who could catch me now? I had arrived. I was the king of the road, master of the highway.
This feeling of supremacy was further enhanced every time I passed another vehicle. In fact, I heard myself saying every time we passed another car, "Why don't they pull over, park, and let a real driver through?" There I was. I had achieved the ultimate. I had set a record for myself. I had passed everyone else. I was the best. Suddenly, after approximately 20 minutes of driving, a Mercedes-Benz cruised past me at 150 miles per hour, seemingly coming out of nowhere. Instantly, I felt like I was standing still. My host turned to me and said with a chuckle, "So you see, you are not traveling as fast as you can, but only as fast as you will." As his words lodged in my mind, I quickly began to understand the curse of comparison and the limitations of self-pride.
From this experience, I learned 3 lessons that have become the foundations of my thinking concerning success and effective living. Lesson 1: the principle of capacity. The true capacity of a product is determined not by the user but the manufacturer. The automobile was built with the capacity to travel at 180 miles per hour, therefore its full potential was determined by the manufacturer. The true potential of the car was not affected by my opinion of its ability or by my previous experience with driving. Whether or not I used the full capacity of the car's engine did not reduce its potential capacity. The same principle applies to your life. God created you like He did everything else, with the capacity to fulfill your purpose. Therefore, your true capacity is not limited, reduced, or altered by the opinion of others or your previous experience.
Lesson 2: the principle of comparison. One of the most significant mistakes humans make is comparison, the measuring of oneself against the standards, work, or accomplishments of another. This exercise is fruitless, demeaning. It is tragic because it places our true potential at the mercy of others, giving them the right to determine and define our success. When I was driving on the Autobahn, I was in a position of great success and achievement if I compared myself to the drivers I overtook. Yet, even though I was leading all the others, I was still not operating at my car's full potential. The car's true capacity was 180 miles per hour, and I was traveling at 115 miles per hour. When I compared my car's performance to all the others, I was leading the pack. I could have been considered a success in their eyes, because I was traveling faster than all of them. When I compared my car's performance to its true capacity, however, I was not truly successful because I was traveling below the maximum speed built into the car by the manufacturer. The lesson here is that true success is not measured by how much you have done or accomplished compared to what others have done or accomplished. True success is what you have done compared to what you could have done. In other words, living to the maximum is competing with yourself. It's living up to your own true standards and capabilities.
Consciously applying this principle to our lives can do much to free us from the immobilizing culture and environment of our society, which strives to control us through comparison. From the early years of childhood, we are compared to our sisters and brothers, the neighbor's children, or some other person. It continues on into our teen and adult years, developing into a sophisticated, dehumanizing state of competition. The result is traumatizing because we spend most of our lives trying to compete with others, comparing our achievements with those of our peers, and attempting to live up to their standards of acceptance. Instead of being ourselves, we become preoccupied with being who others dictate we should be. If we succumb to this temptation, we will be reminded, just like the Mercedes-Benz reminded me of my mediocrity, that there will always be some people whom we exceed and others who outpace us. If we compete with ourselves and not with others, then it does not matter who is behind us or ahead of us. Our goal is to become and achieve all we are capable of being and doing, and this becomes the measure of our satisfaction.
Lesson 3. The principle of experience. Experience may be defined as the observation of facts as a source of knowledge and skill gained by contact with facts and events. By its very nature, experience is a product of the past and is therefore limited to and controlled by previous exposure. In spite of the fact that experience may be valuable for making decisions and judgments concerning the future, it is important to know that any significant measurement of growth, development, expansion, or advancement will require experience to submit to the substance of the unknown through faith. Unfortunately, experience has compelled many promising people to cower in the shadows of fear and failure because they were not willing to venture out into the uncharted frontiers of new possibilities. Experience is given not to determine the limits of our lives, but to create a better life for us. Experience is a tool to be used. My experience with driving over the years had conditioned me to drive a car monitored by the speed limits established by the society. Therefore, my driving capacity had become subject to the accepted norms of 45 to 60 miles per hour. The fact that I have driven my cars at 45 to 60 miles per hour for over 25 years does not cancel the automobile's capacity to travel at 100 to 180 miles per hour. In essence, experience does not cancel capacity.
Therefore, my car's capacity is determined not by my use of that capacity, but by the capacity built into the car by the manufacturer. Experience does not cancel capacity. This is also true of our lives. At any point in our lives, we are the sum total of all the decisions we have made, the people we have met, the exposure we have had, and the facts we have learned. In essence, every human is a walking history book. Nevertheless, we must keep in mind that our personal history is being made and recorded every day, and our past experience was once our future. Therefore, we must be careful not to allow our past to determine the quality of our future. Instead, we must use our experience to help us make better decisions, always guarding against the possibility that it may limit our decisions. Remember, your ability is never limited to your experience. Be grateful for the lessons of the past, then accelerate with confidence onto the Autobahn of life, being careful to obey only those signs that have been established by your Creator, who admonishes you. Thank you for joining us on this journey with Dr. Myles Munroe. Remember, true success is measured not by how you compare to others, but by how fully you realize your own potential. Embrace your capacity, avoid the trap of comparison, and use your experiences as tools for growth. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to EStory for more inspiring tales.